Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here on Wave Now. Well, this is kind of sad news that we're bringing you here today. If you go to the Louisville Zoo, I'm sure you've stopped and just adored our elephants that are in the elephant exhibit here. But we have some sad news. The elephants are alive. Please don't worry about that. But they're leaving our zoo and they're going to be going to retirement at an elephant sanctuary in Tennessee, Hohenwald, I believe that's how you say it, Hohenwald, Tennessee. So the zoo is talking to us about this today, giving us an update. But these are the elephants, Mikki and Punch. So they're going to be retiring at an elephant sanctuary. So this will provide them more socialization. So I want to show you the elephants here. The zoo officials are getting ready to talk with us. They'll come in front of the microphone here. But they said that, like many institutions, the zoo has arrived at a crossroads of tradition and reality. While elephants have been featured species for most of the zoo's 54-year history, they recognize the species' complex and social structure has evolved dramatically. So they feel like they're making a tough decision, a bittersweet decision to relocate these elephants, Mikki and Punch, to an elephant sanctuary. So I think they're getting ready to start. Let me see. David Mattingly there, as you see, he's at the press conference right now to get more information from the zoo.
There you're Alyssa's, right in Alyssa's way, isn't she? I'm fine here. Okay, cool. Yeah. I can look as if I'm talking to somebody there.
Okay, I think they're still getting set up, so I apologize there. And that is the zoo director there getting ready to give us some information.
I can look at her shoulder.
The shoulder gives great conversation.
There you go. I'm sure it does. I'll take your word for it. So am I moving? Do you guys need me some?
All right, sorry, folks. I just wanted to bring this press conference to you in its entirety, but they're still getting set up. Again, if you're joining us, the zoo is preparing to wish a happy retirement to Mikki and Punch, their two elephants. They're going to be going to an elephant sanctuary in Tennessee.
It's Dan Maloney, Maloney, and I am the director of the Louisville Zoo.
Sounds like we're here for the beginning of a long goodbye. What's happening?
You know, we thought it was appropriate, and it's going to take a while to get them conditioned. Punch and Mikki have the opportunity to be here for more than a year, and our community can come and visit them as many times as they want.
So what kind of led up to, deciding, it's time for them to be able to, retire and go to...
It's a hard decision, and we love Mikki and Punch dearly, but they're at a stage where they're still able to travel well. They still have each other, and we can get them to the sanctuary, which fortunately is just in Tennessee, and they'll have that opportunity to form other companionships and relationships. And when one of them inevitably goes before the other, they'll have a great cohort there in Tennessee.
These are such social animals. Explain why that is so important in your decision to keep them together like this.
Over the last half century, we've learned an awful lot about elephant care, and we know that in the wild they live in often extensive herds that are led by an experienced matriarch, her daughters, sisters, aunts, nieces, and then young males that eventually have to be driven out of the herd. We'd like Punch and Mikki to have an opportunity to form additional cohorts and get to meet other elephants and have a lot more space.
So what's going to happen to the elephants, I guess, where they live right now? Are there plans to do something different with it? Are you planning to expand it? What's the plan to do?
At the zoo, we'll never leave spaces empty, and our preliminary plan is to move the white rhinos over to this area. Allows both white rhinos to be outside at the same time, gives them a lot more space outdoors and indoors. But also we can replant the yard in ways that we can't do with elephants, because elephants can reach everything and are a lot more destructive.
Is this the end of elephants for a while at the zoo? You guys look into maybe eventually having elephants again?
We haven't made any decision about the future of elephants here at the zoo. And as we proceed into the next phase of master planning, we'll be looking at what it would take to accommodate elephants here. They're on the master plan right now, an expanded area from the plan in 2016. But I think we would probably do more than what's on that master plan.
This is just basically for their age and their well-being. And how old are they?
Well, Punch is coming up on 54 and Mikki's pushing towards 40. That elephants can live a lot longer than those ages, but they are moving into those golden years of their life. So now that we're down to just 2 elephants, we feel that this is the appropriate time.
Reading on your website, there was a problem with certification after the death of baby Spence. What happened there?
Losing Fitz was a really tragic occurrence. It's so sad when you have an elephant that young who goes to this insidious virus. The Association of Zoos and Aquariums mandates a minimum of 3 elephants. That's still a very small number of elephants. And the fact that Punch and Mikki are such a bonded duo, bringing just a 3rd elephant in here, I think would be tough and for that animal to assimilate in a way that would give them a good assurance of their welfare. You would most likely bring in 2 elephants that were already bonded to these 2, but our space it would be difficult to accommodate 4 adult elephants in the space that we have.
After Spence died, I asked you this question before about this ongoing debate and the question, should elephants be kept in captivity like this? How has that conversation gone here at the zoo?
The passing of Fitz was very sad. Losing him was just a sad occurrence. Many zoos have decided to move away from elephants. So we got Nashville, Knoxville, the 2 zoos in Chicago, Philadelphia Zoo, Detroit Zoo, and a bunch of other zoos have decided to move away from elephants. But other zoos have invested, and there'll still be elephants in zoos, and it could very well be here at Louisville. But the investment is large, and the commitment has to be significant in order to properly accommodate elephants in human care.
So it sounds like you're saying the hope is that elephants will be back, but at this point, there's no guarantee.
There's no guarantee because you never know. You can't predict the future. But I think it'll be an ongoing dialogue with our foundation board, with our staff, with the mayor's office, and certainly the community, because it will mean that there will be other things that we wouldn't be doing on the master plan if we gave the additional space towards elephants.
And one more question. Tell us about this sanctuary that they'll be going to.
The Elephant Sanctuary in Tennessee is a remarkable place. I visited there. It's an accredited facility by the AZA, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. It's just a beautiful setting. There's 3,000 acres. The animals have a tremendous amount of space. It's well foliaged, but also it's state-of-the-art care. And so the quality of care that they're receiving in Louisville will be the same as they go to Tennessee.
Can you give us any details about what they can offer beyond the space? What can they offer that you cannot offer the pair here?
The sanctuary in Tennessee has the opportunity presents the opportunity for Mikki and Punch to develop additional relationships with other elephants. And that's extremely important to such social animals. Not all animals are as social as elephants, or do they survive in multi-generational herds. So those kind of opportunities and that kind of dynamic is really important to elephants.
What about the human factor, though? What do they have in terms of staff and facilities that perhaps you don't have, just beyond the space that they have?
Their accommodations are world-class. They are much newer than the Louisville Zoo's accommodation. They have a very talented and very skilled staff. They have their own veterinarians, and I feel really good about the care that they'll receive in Tennessee.
Oh, look. Looks like she was posing.
You may have said this and I missed it, but if they came back here, what would it look like? There would be additional space? Is that it would require additional space? Is that?
Well, if we were to design an elephant exhibit today, because this exhibit has been around for decades here at the zoo, we would design it very differently. There would be opportunities to have a breeding population and to be able to hold males in a group on their own if need be. So in addition to whatever space, there would be additional complexity, and we would design the interior very different as well. So it would most likely not be in the same location, and we'll have to look at it as we continue the master planning process. We're looking at some of the older areas of the zoo, and we'll be redoing those in the decades to come.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We're getting a show
right behind you.
That's great.
Oh my gosh.
Good deal.
I could sense Cheryl's anxiousness to get in here. FYI, they were just running.
Oh,
It's
you
like she's on.
Okay.
All right, folks, thanks for staying with me here on this stream from the Louisville Zoo. Some bittersweet news that the two elephants that we have at the zoo, they're going to be retiring and leaving our zoo and moving to a elephant sanctuary in Tennessee. This is Mikki and Punch. Mikki is the African elephant and the Asian elephant Punch. So they've been with the zoo for some time. So it's just kind of sad if you've been there with your family. I know I have. We have pictures with the elephants in the background there. So, they kind of have just decided that at the stage that they're in, that it's best to move the two elephants to this sanctuary and where they can get more exposure to other elephants, more space. So I was reading their press release. They have really started the process of acclimating Mikki and Punch to the transport process, because in my head I'm thinking, well, how are you going to transport elephants? Like, that's not something you see every day. They said that they have a custom designed 17,000 pound, 8-foot wide transport container. So that'll be interesting to see how they do on that journey there. So they know that the Louisville community has a strong connection to the elephants. So this will be sad. Not sure what the future will be for elephants at our zoo. You heard the director of the zoo say that a lot of zoos have kind of shifted away from having elephant enclosures just because they recognize that it's maybe not the best fit for them. So the Asian elephant Punch, arrived at the zoo in 1973. And then the African elephant Mikki followed in 1987. Mikki gave birth to two male calves, Scotty and Fitz, while at the zoo. So you heard them talk about the sad passing of Fitz as well. So that was a big, just a big blow for the community as well. A lot of folks, you can see there, taking the day, enjoying the sanctuary there at the zoo and seeing the elephants. It's a very popular spot. Sometimes it's hard to find a spot there. So just kind of sad that they're leaving. So, but this sanctuary is supposed to be very, very nice, according to the director of the zoo. It's the nation's largest natural habitat elephant refuge of over 3,000 acres. So when is this going to happen? They anticipate that the transition is going to happen sometime in the spring of 2025. So it's not happening right away. You still have some time to check them out. It's going to be a process. Not easy to do something like this. Oh, and as far as that space at the zoo, they said they're going to reuse that space for the rhino, the white rhinos, repurpose that area for the white rhinos, 40-year-old female Cindy and 9-year-old male Letterman. All right. David Mattingly is at today's press conference. You probably heard him asking some questions. He's going to have much more on the elephants and where they're going and everything like that. Of course, community reaction as well. You can see families there. Oh, I remember when my babies were that little, just so happy to see the elephants. So you can see it's just something that every family just stops and enjoys. Oh, what a cute little girl. So more on this story coming up for you on Wave News later today. I'm Myra Ansari. Hope you have a great day.